A car was parked across the street. Mulanhua took out some keys, chose one randomly, tried it, and the car door opened. Sister Mulanhua, Mu Xijun asked, surprised, "Did you buy a new car?" "Of course not. I don't even know who owns this car. I'm just borrowing it for a while." The two got into the car. Mulanhua used a special key to start the engine, and the car sped off. It was midnight, and the streets were very quiet. Mulanhua drove very fast. Soon, the car reached the narrow alley where Gao Xiang had been threatened with a gun that day. But Mulanhua didn't stop the car. She drove right past it. "We're here! We're here!" Mu Xishen shouted. The car stopped only after passing 5 or 6 more blocks. "Of course I know we're here, Xuzhen," Mulanhua said seriously. "But we're here to steal something. You don't expect me to drive right to the door, do you?" Mu Xizhen blushed, realizing she had been too quick again. Mulanhua and Mu Xizhen got out of the car. Mulanhua pulled a thin, long flashlight from her pants. She pressed the button, and the light shone out. Mulanhua made the light stronger and held her special keys. Her keys, 7 or 8 master keys, could open almost any lock, from cars to safes. With her tools ready, she and Mu Xizhen walked along the wall towards the building. They walked very carefully, especially when crossing small streets, hurrying past quickly, afraid of being seen. It didn't take long to reach the bottom of the building's wall. Mulanhua looked up. Most of the windows were dark, but on the 3rd floor, some lights were on. "Which floor is the archive room on?" "3rd floor," Mu Xuzhen answered. "There are people on the 3rd floor." Mulanhua frowned. "We'll climb in through a 2nd floor window first. You follow me." Mu Xizhen nodded. Mulanhua stepped back and, very quickly, threw a grappling hook. It caught onto the 2nd floor window ledge. She pulled it to check, then quickly climbed the rope. At the window, she reached out and pushed. The window was completely shut. Mulanhua held the rope with one hand and shone her flashlight through the window with the other, looking inside. The room was like an office and empty. Mulanhua turned off the flashlight. She turned it over and used its bottom to draw a circle on the glass. The bottom of her flashlight had diamonds in it. As soon as she finished the circle, with a snap, the piece of glass fell out. Mulanhua held the flashlight with her teeth, reached her hand through the hole, opened the window latch, and slowly pulled it open. She wondered why such an important spy agency didn't have metal bars on its windows. As she thought this, she got ready to climb through. But suddenly, she froze. She saw that on both sides of the window frame, every foot or so, there was a small light bulb giving off a very faint light, hidden in the wood, looking like many eyes. These were not cat's eyes, but photoelectric alarms. If someone went through the window and blocked the light from these small bulbs, an alarm would definitely go off. The security of the spy agency's main office was much stronger than she had thought. Mulanhua stood still at the window. The small light bulbs were only half a foot apart. Even if she turned sideways, she couldn't get through. And no matter how fast she moved, there would be a short time when the light would be blocked, and they would know she was there. Mulanhua's hand, holding the rope, started to sweat, but she still couldn't think of a way to get past this window. Mulanhua was worried, and Mu Xuzhen, waiting below, was even more worried. From below, she couldn't see the advanced photoelectric alarms on the window. She only saw Mulanhua standing still at the window, not going in. She didn't know what happened, and didn't dare to ask loudly. She just kept pulling the rope. At first, she pulled gently. After a moment, she couldn't help but pull hard. The rope, which was hooked to the window, was already holding Mulanhua's weight. With Mu Xiyuzhen's strong pull, the hook suddenly slipped. Mulanhua fell downwards. At that moment, Mu Xiyuzhen was very scared. Her mouth was open, unable to even make a sound. Mulanhua fell quickly for 7 or 8 feet. She reached out and grabbed a drain pipe, stopping herself from falling all the way to the ground. Mu Xiuzhen felt relieved when she saw Mulanhua stopped falling, but she was covered in cold sweat. Mulanhua turned her head and looked angrily at Mu Xiuzhen on the ground. Mu Xijiu, wiping away sweat, gave a side smile and spread her hands, showing it was an accident. If they couldn't be discovered at that moment, Mulanhua, who was usually patient, would have scolded Mu Xiuzhen a few times. She held on to the drain pipe, took a breath, and looked up again. This made her happy. She saw that the drain pipe went all the way to the top of the building, clearly leading to a big water tank on the roof. Mulanhua had an idea. She turned her head again and made a simple sign to Mu Xiuzhen, who was waiting in the alley, telling her to also climb the drain pipe. Mu Xiuzhen picked up the rope that had fallen and also started to climb the drain pipe. She had climbed about 10 feet when, suddenly, a car stopped at the alley entrance. A car had arrived. Sister Mulanhua, someone's here. Mu Xiuzhen whispered very quietly. Even though her voice was low, in this quiet alley it sounded very clear. Mulanhua, who was above her, put out a foot and lightly tapped Mu Xiuzhen's head. The tap was not hard, just a warning to Mu Xiuzhen not to speak again. Mu Xijiu stuck out her tongue, not daring to make another sound. With a bang, a car door closed at the alley entrance. Then, fast footsteps came closer. Mulanhua and Mu Xiuzhen, holding onto the drain pipe, didn't dare to move. From their high spot, they saw 3 people quickly entering from the alley entrance. Their footsteps were quite loud, which worried Mulanhua and Mu Xiuzhen a lot, because at this moment, they were only holding onto the drain pipe. If those 3 people found them, they would be easy targets. The 3 men came closer, stopping in front of a door in the alley. Even though the alley was dark, both could see that the man in front was the tricky Chen Jelly. He was taking out keys. Behind him was a very short man. Number 3, the short man suddenly said. When did he say he'd get here? Within half an hour, Chen Jiali replied. So, Chen Jiali's secret name was Number 3. Mulanhua thought. What did their talk mean? Mulanhua couldn't figure it out right away. With a snap, Chen Jiali pushed open the door, and the 3 men went in one after another. Mulanhua and Mu Xiuzhen breathed a sigh of relief. Just as the door was about to close, they heard another person ask, Number 3, should we get transport ready? Yes, tell our seaplane to be ready to fly any time. Bang! The door closed. Mulanhua and Mu Xiuzhen both let out a breath. They kept climbing up. As they passed a lit window on the 3rd floor, they both saw someone walking back and forth inside. Mulanhua stopped, carefully tilted her head, and looked into the window. Inside, it was an office, with 4 or 5 people working at desks. One person was walking back and forth. The door to that room was open. Mulanhua only watched for a few seconds before continuing to climb. Soon, she reached the rooftop dot. Mu Xiuzhen also looked into that window for a few seconds as she passed. She then climbed onto the rooftop, looking upset. She spread her hands and said, Sister Mulanhua, we came for nothing. As she spoke, Mulanhua wanted to tell her to stop right away. But after Mu Xiuzhen finished speaking, Mulanhua couldn't help but quietly ask, Why? That room. Is that room with people the archive room? No, the archive room is across from that room, and its door is open. Mulanhua was shocked. When she had looked into that room just now, she had seen another door opposite the open door. That other door was, of course, the archive room door. With 4 or 5 people working there, how could they get into the archive room without being seen? Mulanhua stood still, silent. Sister Mulanhua, I don't think those 2 film parts are that important. Let's hurry and find Gao Xiang. No, Xushen. Those two film parts show everything that happened. Even things people didn't see. Thanks to infrared cameras. There must be a very important clue that you haven't found. I must get it and look at it carefully. 木西书晨 knew 木兰花 well. She knew that when 木兰花 decided to do something, trying to change her mind was harder than trying to move a rock. Right. So she said nothing more, just sighed and made a helpless gesture. 木兰花 stood in the shadow of the big water tank, her eyebrows tightly wrinkled, clearly thinking hard. After a while, she finally looked up. Xushen, wait for me here. I'll go down and take a look first. Sister Mulanhua, don't be careless. I won't be, don't worry. She arrived at the rooftop door and opened it easily. The door frame also had photoelectric alarms, but the last two small lights were about 1.5 feet from the ground. Mulanhua bent down and carefully crawled past them. Beyond that door were a few steps of very dark stairs. Mulanhua went down the stairs without making a sound. Turning a corner, she could see the hallway